Welcome back to the Creative Tavern, everyone. Hello, hello. Today is July 10th. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. So I got it right this time. My name is Christopher Lee. I am a concept artist. I've been in the concept art entertainment industry for about 10 years now. I've worked with companies such as Walt Disney Imagineering as well as Universal Studios Creative, and I'm very happy to be here today with my friend and pal Michael Welker. Say hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michael L. Welker. I am an amateur Unity developer, a writer, and also formerly a creative producer for the theme park industry, which is where I met Chris, where we
Yeah.
worked at companies together like Walt Disney Imagineering and Universal Creative. Um, but we have been in between big theme park projects for a little while now, and during that time we said, hey, let's do a project together, just me and you. And so we spent some time trying to figure out what that might be, and kind of settled on, hey, well, let's make a video game, and let's learn how to do it because neither of us have ever made one before. So let's see how that goes. And not only that, why don't we stream ourselves making this game and put that out there in the public? That way, other aspiring creatives can see how we would approach something like that. And hopefully, we can role model for others the creative process and give people both encouragement and inspiration for doing so. And that kind of transitioned into the Creative Tavern platform, which is where you are now. And to tell you more about that, I'm going to hand the microphone back to Chris.
Thank you, Michael. And yeah, just to piggy off what Michael just said, this is a place where we can, share with one another, our progress of what we're doing. It doesn't matter if you're doing art, doesn't matter if you're doing music, it doesn't matter if you're doing woodwork or whatever, writing stories. It's a place for us to bounce ideas off one another. And I'm very, very thankful for all the viewers in here, especially like Captain Blue Blue as well as Cyborg right here. They've been giving us, especially Captain Blue Blue has been giving us some really good, effective, positive feedback. And so this is one of the reasons why it's so awesome to actually have a place where we can share knowledge and wisdom and just help and lift one another up, right? So yeah, thank you again, guys, for being here. And again, we always streams on Wednesday and Sundays at 7 p.m. PST. All right. And today is Sunday, so therefore, or actually, Michael, do you have anything else to add to that?
Nope,
Good. All right.
perfect.
All right. Cool. All right. So today's Sunday, and Sunday is my day, and I will be sharing with you guys. Well, first sharing a recap, and then I will share an update of what I did. Okay. And then so now let's get to the fun stuff, and I gotta set up really quick. Everything's all so smooth until this point. It's like, oh, okay, now I gotta do this. I gotta uh share screen. All right, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, all right. You guys see this? This looks good. I'm actually not looking at the same thing. Crap. Hold on. You're not looking at the same thing either, Michael. The chat is actually looking at the correct thing. Okay, perfect. So, how am I supposed to approach this? Last week, or last Sunday, I basically showed you guys some assets that I created for Scene 3. And Scene 3 is a scene in our game where we are more or less flying around a crater, or not a crater, an asteroid field. And we are going through like ravines and canyons and whatnot. And actually, while I'm saying that, I can play this for you guys right now, just to give you guys a little bit of a refresh as to how this level actually looks. So so basically, we're just transitioning in from scene 1 and 2, and then from a really big, space, like a lot of space, into down into kind of like a more surfacey planet areas to give a little bit of a contrast. This space is supposed to have like it's supposed to have like a really dynamic feel. It's supposed to kind of feel like the Star Wars trench run. That's what's the first thing that kind of inspired Michael and myself. And we ran into some technical issues in that this planet that I created, it's so gigantic, it's so freaking huge geometry wise. And our last session, Michael actually showed us what it looked like in the game engine, right? The in order for Okay, so in order for us to travel around the planet at a fast speed, we have to go so fast that whatever we're shooting at is actually slower than the ship. Am I getting that right, Michael?
Say that again.
So basically, in order for us to move past the uh, to in order for us to actually make us feel like we're moving quickly around the surface of the planet, we have to fly so fast, our velocity is so high that when we actually shoot our weapons, the shots are actually slower than our ship, and then so the shots are actually
Correct.
behind us, right? And
Yeah.
then so that was something that was brought to my attention, and thank you, Michael, for doing that exploration to show us that we have a situation on our hands, and we got to find a solution. And then my so the first solution was, all right, so man, if it's too big, let's just let's just not do it. Let's just go ahead and just instead of one gigantic asteroid planet, we'll just do like tiny little asteroids. So that was the first solution. And then the second solution, when it came up when Michael and I were playing Overwatch, and then Michael was like, there should be a way to kind of have the have a nice sense of space without it being so huge, and that the wingspan, instead of being like a million wingspans, the cavern and the canyon, it's so huge and wide that it could actually be a lot smaller. And then so from that conversation, when we were playing Overwatch, it gave me the opportunity to actually revisit the huge planet that we're actually on right now. And I'll go ahead and show you guys how big compared to the planet as well as the super tiny spaceship. I'll make sure to show that to you guys, and I'll show you guys the solution of what I did. And I think we can have the best of both worlds. What's that saying? Have our cake and eat it too as well. So we can have both, combine both solutions. So that is what I will show you guys today. And if everything goes well today, and if I get the green light from Michael, then I will go ahead and proceed on to scene 5, because our due date for our game is September, mid-September, more or less. Maybe by the end of September if we need to push things a little bit farther down the road. But like I was talking to Michael and saying that I would rather have all the geometry done than have one geometry textured really really nicely. Um, it's all about the gameplay. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, for all I care, and this is not how I truly feel. But if it came down to it, I don't mind if our game looks like blocky chunks of, like Minecraft. It's not as sexy and sleek. But as long as the gameplay is fun, as long as you have something to shoot at, then I'm happy. So my first priority is to make sure that we get all the assets done, whether it's textured or not. Just make sure that all the assets are there. So that is my goal. And if everything goes well today, again, I will be moving on to scene 5. All right. I said a lot. Michael, do you have anything to add?
Uh, no, I think that was a perfect recap and segue into the update for today. I'm really looking
Uh,
forward to seeing what you did.
all right. So, okay. So this right here is the size of the ship. Okay, and I will go ahead and back out, and you guys can actually see how big the planet is compared to the ship. So again, this is the ship, and then I'm just backing out, backing out, backing out, right? And
Man.
it's just so, and it's big. Concentrate right here on this orange little dot. That's the ship, right? So if I press play, so it's that tiny little ship that's like flying um around the planet, and it's freaking huge, all right? It's really really big. It's really big. All right. So if I zoom in and then zoom out, so hopefully you guys believe me that there's a scale discrepancy going on. The planet is just way too big, right? All right, cool. And so the solution to that is to try to make the planet smaller. Now, I went ahead and initially I tried to play with, oh, maybe it's the f-stop, maybe it's the field of view, maybe it's the camera that's the issue. Maybe if I could somehow get the camera working, have a bigger field of view, and maybe I could make the planet smaller. I'm not gonna skip all the stuff that I did. The solution is basically just make the fucking planet smaller. Just make it smaller. That was the solution. And I had no idea how simple it was, right? So if you guys look at this little tiny block, and if I go ahead and delete it, this right here is our new planet,
Wow, that is so much smaller.
right? Okay, so let me do this. So this is the planet compared to this huge gigantic uh, beast of a planet, right? So, to prove that it works, I'm going to take the same size, ship that we have, the hero ship, as well as the same path, and I'm gonna play it for you guys. So I'm gonna play it for you guys. So therefore, I have to go here, camera, small. All right, small. All right. So let me go all the way back and play. So this is the small planet. Oh, and shit, sorry. Sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't animate the rolls, the pitch and yaw and roll of the thing, so I'm gonna have to do it manually. So I
Oh,
am the
okay.
captain. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I'm shocked. How did you? I mean, even
Oh,
though like
that's
this
fine.
came out of a suggestion that I made, like, how'd you do it? Because
I
this looks great.
yeah. I just made it smaller. Uh, I
Really,
just made it
that's it? You
smaller.
just
That
scaled it down and
I just scaled it down. I tried a whole bunch of different things, but in the end, I was like, fuck this. This is so annoying. And I just scaled it down and then it works. There are some areas where it needs a little bit of polish, but
hmm
overall, like like at this area, like right here, it still feels right. It still
yeah,
feels good.
yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this little canyon spot feels perfect.
And we're still going
Cool.
underneath. We're still making the turns. Um,
Wow, yeah, because I thought for sure you were gonna have to like, all right, I scaled it down, but like I needed to take this piece and make it bigger because when we
right.
scaled it down, it got really tiny, but I needed,
Right.
and then this other thing was like the opposite, and it was really small before, but now when we scale it down now, because everything's scaled down, now it's too big. But yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So I guess you
Yeah.
you scaled the whole thing down, and then you're using the exact same ship model, the exact same path, and you
Mhm.
just set
Mhm.
the ship speed to much less, I guess.
Uh, that's the thing. I didn't have to set the speed at all because the speed is actually dictated by the
Oh,
path. Um,
gotcha. It's
yeah.
traveling like X number of right. So like
Yeah.
basically, if you said like take 30 seconds to go from point A to point B on the path, it doesn't
Right.
matter if it's a million times the size or
Right.
if it's half the size. It's still going to
Yeah.
take 30 seconds to get from A to B.
Exactly. Yep.
Got
Yep.
it. Okay.
Exactly. So I'm gonna do something that proves that, because I was a little bit skeptical of myself. I'm like, did I accidentally shrink the ship? And I did a whole bunch of tests because, I was like, well, if I shrink everything, maybe I accidentally shrink the ship as well. That's why it's working. Maybe that's why. No. I can show you later on after this finishes playing that the ship is independent from the shrinkage of the planet. So
Cool.
I'm very very happy. So again, we can eat this cake too. So yeah.
Wow, awesome.
well, okay, so basically this works. I don't want you guys to have to keep watching this. Okay. So next thing I want to do is that I want to prove to you guys that if I make the if I make the planet smaller, that the ship itself will actually stay the same size. Okay? So theoretically, if I make this smaller, the ship is actually going to maintain the size. Okay? See
Yep,
how
you can see it's getting
yeah,
bigger.
uh
Or
the
it
ship
appears to be getting bigger, but it's
yeah,
not.
yeah. Yeah, see. So again, the ship is staying the same while I am making the planet smaller. Um
Cool.
and yeah, basically what I had to do was find that perfect spot where it's not too big, not too small. Because right now, obviously, is just way too small. Let me go back. Was this it? Yeah, this was it. So so problem solved. I'm shocked. I honestly don't know why it works the way it does. I just found a solution, but I don't know exactly why. But I'm not gonna nitpick as to why it works. uh, it works. Yeah. So that's good. But that more or less educates me that you could have a grand scale of things without having to make it a grand scale, like super super huge. Because I was actually trying to create. Because I was talking to Michael, I asked myself and him, it's like, why the hell did I make it so big? Why? That's so weird. And then so we by doing this little exercise, by us having a little chat during Overwatch, we realized that we can kind of have a forced perspective kind of view for the environment and not having to have it as a one to one. And because I was actually a little bit worried about this, because if this was an issue, then we're going to have issues in scene 5, because scene 5 currently is kind of like the same thing. We're in a big gigantic interior space. um Oh, sorry, my thing is playing right now. Let me go and stop. We have this big interior space, and then our ship is also really super, super tiny. So now that with this learning, I'm going to apply this new learning to Scene 5, if and when I get to it this week. Okay, so I proved that it works on a small scale. I proved that the ship remained the same. Okay, and that's all I needed to prove that this new planet works. So yeah, victory. What do you think, Michael? Anything to add?
Um, I'm just really impressed that there was so little needed to like adjust to still get it totally functional, which is cool. So I mean, congrats, and I'm really glad that it worked. And
Yeah, yeah.
um, and it's
And
great too because it. Or sorry, go ahead.
no. You go. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that it's great too because what you had, like we liked, like as a draft version of like here's a couple of things you can do on this planet. So it would have been a kind of a bummer to lose all that. But
Yeah.
it was nice that we still have the option to like, okay, here's all that stuff. Like we can still do it.
Right.
So yeah, so it's cool.
And this was all you too. It was because of your idea. Because I was about to just give up on this planet. It was like in the trash can until you said, you should see if you could make the wingspan smaller. And then that's what that's what made me take the day and to just see if I could actually, solve this issue. And we did. So yay, teamwork. And
Yeah.
I see Coley Butt in the chat. Hey, so good to see you. By the way,
Hello.
awesome job streaming last night. I really, really enjoyed your stream. Sorry, I had to leave and I had to go to bed. I was really tired. I went to sleep really early, but then I didn't really sleep that well. And then I woke up, I was like so tired. But anyways, so happy to have you here, man. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you stream again. Same with you, Captain Boo Boo. I want to see you stream. Cyborg, I don't know if you stream. I don't think you stream, but hopefully you will stream so that we can all watch you. Hopefully we could all become an awesome family community of streamers here. All right. So the next thing, so this was actually solution number 2. Solution number 1 was to more or less ditch the planet, right? Remember, because it's too big.
Hmm.
So solution number 1 was to create small little asteroids, and that's what I will show you now. Man,
Sweet.
I need to go a little bit slower because I'm I'm going way too fast. It's only 7:22. Ah, go slower, go slower. All right. Uh, all right, all right. Okay. Oh shoot. Okay, so I am actually on the wrong thing. So what I'm going to do is I want to save this, and then I will. Sorry, my computer's a little bit slow.
No problem.
Uh, Oh, Coley Butt says, like bit by bit. Captain Blue Blue says, smallest planet. Cyborg says, yeah, only render what is, in view essentially. What you don't see don't exist. Yeah, that's so, for real. Cyborg says, yeah, I stream. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I did not know that. Okay, I will follow you. We're gonna watch you. I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you. Um, and Coley Butt says, thanks for stopping by last night. Of course, of course. Whenever I'm on, uh, whenever people stream, and whenever I am on the computer, if I see you stream, I will do my best to just open you up and then just be a creepy ass lurker so that you could gain that extra follower. I do that with all the people that I follow. And that's probably the reason why my computer is so damn slow, is because apparently Firefox is like it takes a lot of CPU power. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's a
weird.
bummer.
Okay,
Because
so
I
right
like
now I like Firefox too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close scene 3. Boom, it's
Okay.
closed. All right, now you see uh scene 3 again, but it's a different version.
Okay.
And the chat sees it too. Does the chat see it? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. This is just the same thing. I'm not gonna play this for you because you guys already saw that it works. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing that that I've been spelling asteroid wrong. Apparently, there's a E in the word asteroid because I've been
Mm-hmm.
spelling it without a E. So I was like, ah, I feel like an idiot. And then so I learned one thing today. All right. And then so here are the little asteroids. I was like, what if I actually created like little tiny asteroids, right? And
Yeah.
then and then I wanted to check on the size of the asteroids so that they're not way too big. So let me go to, yes, I am on camera free. If I push 0, uh, boom. Okay, so this is the size of the, hold on, let me try to make it smoother. I don't know why sometimes Blender does a nice camera movement, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it chugs like a mofo. So I apologize, you guys. I don't know why it's like chugging right now. It's probably because I'm streaming. Um, but yeah, Michael, I just wanted to show you the size of the ship compared to the asteroid, the tiny asteroid,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which isn't too big. Hold on. Why can I not select you? Oh, that is weird. Sorry, guys. I could select the thing, but why can I not select the ship? Oh, it's because. Wait a second. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys.
I mean, I may be speaking out of turn, but it looks like the container, the little box for the ship, doesn't have the arrow clicked in your hierarchy or whatever. Like there's one arrow
Oh,
up.
yeah. You're
That
right.
one.
Sorry. Yep. There you go. Thank you. Yep.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So this is the size of the asteroid, of the small asteroid, and now that I'm looking at it, it's not that small.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big either. So it's kind of like just in the nice little range, so that we could actually fly from one asteroid to another. Um, And obviously, I want you to validate that the size of these asteroids, that they will work. Okay. So this is what was the plan is to, instead of having this huge, gigantic, ginormous asteroid, have a few small pieces of asteroid that we can actually have it a lot easier to work with. maybe one, two, three, four, five, six, and more maybe. I don't know. It depends on the game master, Michael. If you decide to have more, we can add more. If we want to have less, then we can have less, right? But obviously, we don't want it to just look like asteroid, right? So what I have done is I went ahead and created, boom, architecture and
Whoa.
crap uh in this scene. Wait, what's going on? Rah. So on this asteroid, you're gonna get like a whole bunch of gobbledygook. Um,
Wow.
man, I do not. You guys, I apologize. I don't know why it's so choppy. It looks super super choppy on stream. Um, I I apologize. But Michael, hopefully you can see it. Um,
Yeah. Looks
this
awesome.
cool. Thank you, man. I'm glad you think so. Oh, thank God. So in my mind, I'm just thinking like the company, the oil miners or whatever, the Vespian gas miners or whatever, they have settled on these little asteroids and built like architecture shapes, platforms on them so that, they could do their shit, do their mining operation.
Hmm.
Um, I got lazy. I just took one of our ships and made it bigger. Maybe this is that platform that we use to, blow up. Spoiler alert.
Sure.
Um, Something like that. Maybe this one right here. They're actually digging into the asteroid.
Oh yeah.
Something, 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 right? And then we also talked about maybe kind of having like a hyperloop or something to maybe go from. Man, it is so choppy. I apologize, guys. This is just something I'm still working on to see if, going from the smaller asteroid, maybe we transition to the big asteroid, and that's when we start the press play on the big asteroid. Um, it depends on you, Michael. I'm just kind of creating stuff, and I'm hoping that you can also just take what I create and then create like a nice course. I've also created this thing,
Ooh.
which is
Yeah.
very reminiscent of our corridor, but it's a little bit different. One being that it is actually in space, so this is like a contraption that can shoot us into another sector, or from it could shoot us from one asteroid to another. Because right now the placement of these asteroids are pretty arbitrary, um, something like so. And so actually, sorry, I should have been flying with the ship so that you guys can actually see it. You know what I'm talking about, Michael? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Pew, 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 pew. So yeah, again, so let me just dive in here really quick. I mean, if I clip it right here,
Oh yeah,
so
there you go.
just
Okay.
just just to prove that it's not freaking huge. This space
Right.
is actually it's doable. It's doable. It's not the huge ass planet that we always see.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So yeah. Um, before I get your thoughts, Michael, I want to turn off the lights, or
Okay.
actually, turn on the lights. And while I turn on the lights, do you have any comments really quick?
Um, yes, definitely. I really like the space ring things, and especially the more rectangular like
Yeah.
boost section thing,
Yeah.
whatever we want to call that guy. That's really neat. Like that's because I was also doing some experimentation about trying to figure out like, how do you get people from one asteroid to the other? Obviously, if you're in a spaceship, you just fly there. But for like this mining colony, assuming that they're going to have like terrestrial units, they're going to need some way to like, you know, maybe if they're digging ore out of one, they want to like put it on a conveyor belt system that then transports it to the a different one where it's like, oh, that's where it gets packaged up or processed or refined or whatever. So maybe you would need like some kind of like cabling system, or in this case, like it's
Mm-hmm.
cool that you would have like almost a series of like magnet accelerators where you can like
Right.
put a crate up into there and it would go through the, yeah, and then the on the other end the other thing would like catch the crate or whatever and then
Mm-hmm.
like process it like that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Um, so I like what you've done there. I've got more thoughts, but since it's
Cool.
loaded in, do you want to take back
Yeah.
over?
Yeah. So currently the only textures that I have in this scene is the HDR world, as well as these little textures for the asteroids. It's not final. It's just something that something is something. It's not nothing, right? We may like it, we may not like it. It depends. So this is what is in the scene, and I went ahead and just added a little lights, just to give a little bit of life
Ooh, cool.
to like and obviously right now the whole thing right here is like white geometry, which is not great, and the light that I'm using is white. We might not use white. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But it's just kind of give a little bit of atmosphere of what it can look like. And for example, like here, it's like,
Nice.
ooh, it has some. Why is it selected? Oh, there you go. There you go. Ooh, it's nice and smooth now. So yeah, it just adding a little bit of lights. It just gives the environment a little bit of life. But
Yeah,
that's about it.
it makes a
That's about it.
big difference. Like it looks
Yeah,
so cool. Man, lighting is so important.
yeah, it really is. So, but anything else? Anything else? So yeah, basically flying from one asteroid to another, you know, shooting stuff, shooting stuff, saving stuff. And then, all right, let's get out of the light view. So yeah, that's basically it, Michael. Just trying to come up with the solutions that we talked about from last week, as well as utilizing the assets that I made last week and put it onto these smaller asteroids. And yeah, uh, your thoughts? Any more thoughts?
Sure. Um, big level, high overall thought. Like I really
Yeah.
like the combination of having the small, like the collection of smaller asteroids at the like beginning of the level or the
Hmm.
beginning of
Hmm.
the scene, and then we move to the big one. Um, that's pretty cool. So I'm, I'd whatever we do from here on, I'd like to try to keep that. So basically, the two different things that you have, like scaling down the planet and then also
Yeah.
breaking up into like smaller pieces, I like both. So maybe we
Right.
use both. Um, so there's that. I really like the industrial elements that you've incorporated. Um, and it's great to see the scale relative to the ship.
Oh,
So
right.
thank you for doing that close little like zoom in. That way we could see like, oh, okay, that's roughly like how big all this stuff is relative to the ship. Um, can you fly that ship underneath those pipes real quick?
Yeah.
Sweet, cool.
So
Okay,
sorry,
great.
I don't know why it's so choppy. It's like
Hmm.
it's bugging me.
Well, I think for me, Discord's usually kind of choppy, so it looks pretty normal. But I guess on stream it's looking pretty choppy. Is that right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, it
I'm not
looks
watching the stream.
pretty choppy. So
Ah,
sorry
that's a
guys.
bummer.
Sorry you guys. Yeah, I don't know why it's like being stupid. Sorry. But yeah, it definitely the ship you can definitely fly
Yeah, that's
underneath
so
and
cool. Love it. Um, The other thing that I was going to say, and this is like a bit of a like visual level design kind of a thing, but also a little bit of a story thing. Um, I think, and I know the idea was to make the asteroids smaller, but I feel like relative to the scale of the industrial components that are attached to them, some of these asteroids should be bigger. Because if you think that you're going to have this investment where they're going to build all this structure on top of a thing and be drilling ore and stuff
uh-huh.
out of there,
Uh-huh.
you probably want to hold like a pretty big asteroid that's like, oh man, that thing's got to be loaded with ore.
Sure.
But if you have like a really tiny one and the structure that's on top of it is like 50 to 60% of the overall size or the overall volume of the of the whole,
Hmm.
uh, that's that kind of structure must be like, oh, that must be like an administration building or something. Like that structure can't be related to the actual mining of what's inside the asteroid because the asteroid is just too small. Like it wouldn't be able to support being able to like really drill out hundreds or thousands of tons of ore if it's
Uh-huh.
like
Uh-huh.
the asteroid's roughly the size of the building that's on top of it.
Right.
But I think some of those buildings are cool and are like it's interesting to have some asteroids that are smaller where the size of the building that's on top of it is roughly the same size.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I think the other one, like the one where you have the drill that's kind of like digging in, like that's a really cool idea, like with the crane drill bit. That's neat, but I think that asteroid should be much
Bigger.
bigger
Sure,
underneath
sure,
it.
sure, sure. Yeah, yeah.
And we don't necessarily need to like go fly around that whole thing. But it could be just from like a storytelling element, like, oh cool, this one is like they're drilling out of there, so like there must be a whole bunch of stuff inside that one.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, like super high level, I like everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think some of the asteroid sizes can be a little bit bigger relative to the industrial
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
All the industrial stuff that you've done is great. Like it looks awesome. Very much evoking the idea that this is a mining colony and this is a collection of asteroids that have a really valuable mineral resource or something in them. And so they've established this operation, this industrial operation to extract the ore, and it's the
Hmm.
perfect
Hmm.
set for the drones attacking, and now we're and they're defending. And yeah, these like the shuttle platform thing, that's super cool too. I dig it.
Yeah.
Um, and
Uh,
what's neat too that I didn't think about before is the way you have this one structured, where it's like you've got the single shuttle. We could just copy paste that like 3 times, and then the mission objectives are like defend the 3 shuttles, and then so you go to one, and then you're defending it while it's being attacked, and then if it's successfully, it's like great, 1 of 3 rescued. Then you go to
mhm,
the next one, and so you could potentially like one of them blows up, and like oh that you're not going to get a 100% score on the mission completion screen
mhm,
now
mhm,
because
mhm.
one of the
Yep.
shuttles blew up.
Yep. That's cool. That's cool. And yes to everything that you said. I agree with your assessment of the asteroid being bigger. Um, I think I can make it in a way where, obviously I can construct the prefabs. Again, from what I said from last week, the asteroid is its own separate asset element, right? Geometry, FBX, textures and everything. And then what I can do is I could create a platform with all the industrial junk and everything on there. And then what you can do is you can make the asteroid bigger or smaller, and then you could take like a whole fabricated or prefab of what I made, put it on there. And if you decide to add extra elements, you could take the extra elements and just populate it inside however you want it to make it feel good. So that's what my end goal
Perfect.
is, to create prefabs as well as individual assets so that you can also play around with, like, oh, what if we put this ring here instead? What if it's bigger? Oh, something like that. So that you can play with the level design as well. Since you're
Yeah.
kind of doing
Hell
the
yeah.
gameplay, it'll be good for you to take it and adjust it accordingly to fit the story element as well. So, so yeah, so that is
Yeah.
definitely the
That's a
goal.
fantastic production idea in terms of like us collaborating and then getting to a
Hmm.
point
Hmm.
where like I can take the pieces that sort of like gray box pieces that you've got, put something together in the game and be like, okay, cool, this is fun. This is like what it should look like in the end. Hand that back to you. Then you can refine it and make it look really sexy, and
Yeah.
then put it back into the game and be like, okay, great, ship.
Right, right. I have a proposal for you, Michael. What if this was scene two, the small asteroids?
Hmm. Sure. Yeah. I mean, and sure. Yeah. In a Yeah, absolutely.
right?
So,
Because
yeah,
if
then scene one could just be the asteroid field and the ship, like the fleet arriving, but
yeah,
you haven't gotten to the colony collection. So yeah, that's a really nice transition actually, because then
yeah,
you've got like you're just in the asteroid field, then you go deeper into the asteroid field and where you find these things, and then you go
right.
even deeper and you're on
Uh-huh.
the
The
big
bigger
main
one,
asteroid where the operation is happening,
right?
and then you go inside, and then
Scene
yeah,
four. Yep. And then
that's
yeah,
that's great. Yep, good idea, Chris. Love it.
cool, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I was thinking like, well, we have these small asteroids and we have the big ass asteroid. They're both in scene three, so why not just take it apart? You know. Cool. Well, I'm glad. I'm super happy that you like the direction of it, of what you see right now. Um,
Yeah, love it. So
oh,
I do have one potential
yes,
suggestion, but I'm
please.
hesitant about it because
No,
I
no, no,
don't
please.
want to have like design vocabulary conflicts between the colonists and the enemies, the drones.
Uh-huh,
But it
uh-huh.
because one thing I was thinking like with these like different collections of asteroids, in addition to the sort of magnetic acceleration rings to get between things. Yeah, and I can see you've got like a physical pipe almost connecting two of them down there.
Oh, yeah.
Or I don't know if that's just floating in space just accidentally, but it
Yes.
it could be cool to have like cables that are kind of like hanging down that kind of connect to,
Oh,
so you
yeah,
could
yeah,
almost
yeah,
imagine
yeah.
that it would either be like from asteroid A to asteroid B, they're just
Uh-huh,
using
uh-huh.
this tube to kind of like pump fuel or something to the
Yeah,
refinery or whatever.
yeah.
Or maybe it's like a pedestrian tunnel that
Uh-huh.
where people can just walk or take like golf carts whatever to go
Sure,
between them, so then
sure.
they don't have to like get into a spaceship or
Space.
spacesuit and
Right,
fly in space.
right.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
the reason I was hesitant about that though is because we have that sort of like hanging
Oh,
cable visual with the
mini
boss, right? The
boss.
main boss has
Right.
kind of got
Yeah.
this, like iconic look with these cables. So I don't know if there's a way to do that that would not be like con- conflict of design styles, but if we could, if you could pull it off, like that
Yeah.
would be really
I think we could pull it off. I mean, just because our enemies drink water doesn't mean we don't drink water, right? I mean,
right.
cables are used everywhere, right? So it's like,
Fair enough.
yeah, yeah. So yes, great point. I will definitely add that into the assets collection. Um, mm,
Sweet.
yeah, totally, totally. Okay, so do I have your blessing to after I make that the connection, the wires connection, do I have your permission to go ahead and move on to scene 5?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, slam dunk with this. I think everything you have here is great.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, yeah. So this is scene 3, and then this is scene.
Scene
Wait.
two.
Sorry. See, this is scene 2, and then this is scene 3. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You helped resuscitate seeing this planet back to life. Cause yeah, we just did, we basically like just tear it
That was
apart. It's like
a technical impossibility for
yeah,
a couple days there.
yeah, yeah. But I do want to test it out. Um, have
Sure.
you tested out first to see if we actually did solve it? Because obviously, I think I solved it in Blender, but let's make sure it works in Unity as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Um, okay. Sorry. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat.
Yeah. I haven't
Sorry,
checked in with
guys.
chat in a while.
Yeah. Bu- 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 Okay. Uh, Coley Butt says, I don't know much about this, but I'm trying. And that's all you can do is to just do it and try and yeah, because everyone has to start somewhere. When I first started streaming, it was I had no idea what the hell I was doing. But I remember someone on your channel was saying like, "Oh yeah, I want to stream, right? But I don't have the right setup yet." And I mentioned that you don't really need like what I have. I don't have a cool setup. I just have this, black background. That's it, and I have a laptop in front of me, and then I just created this in OBS, this, border below, and you got to do all that, right? But all after you set that up, you just gotta just press stream and just do it. So I'm so happy to watch you stream, man. And good on your brother to give you a hard time to, encourage you to stream. So that's a good brother. That's a good brother. Yeah. Captain Blue Blue says you live and you learn. Yeah, for real. He says it's smooth enough. Okay, good. I'm thinking he's talking about the camera movement. I apologize, guys. My computer is crappy. Um, Laziness makes for efficient solutions. Amen to that. Amen to that. Cyborg says, I got power back. Yeah, good job. And crazy Coley Bus says, welcome back. Yay, that is awesome. Cyborg says, I had my power cut for maintenance. It just came back. I've been on my phone for 4 hours. Holy cow. Woof. Koliba says, "Oh, I'm glad it's back on." Cyborg says, "I like how the industrial is looking." Oh, thank you so much. Because yeah, that is. I was looking at a lot of oil refinery reference photos, and it's basically a lot of vertical tunnels, uh, side tunnels that goes into the ground, some buildings. Uh, they have smoke in the reference, but obviously in space, I don't know. Can you have smoke in space? I'm not really sure. Um, Kolibut
Yeah.
says, I like the asteroids that are connected by pipes. Yeah, based off of Michael's feedback, we'll definitely add more connection for the pipes too. Um, yeah, Captain Blue says the plane on the bottom also shows that the player faction already have a working relationship with them from before the attack. Yeah, story, man. That's awesome. Uh, be it mercenary work or Navy defending citizens and important resources for the faction. I think Chris had a similar idea before when making asteroids, kind of a tethered, making sure that the asteroids don't stray too far from each other. Yeah, or power cables so that you don't have to build power plants on every asteroid, whatever the real reason is. Cyborg says pipe dream. Yes, definitely. Yeah, both you, Michael, as well as Blue Blue, and past Chris, we're all thinking the same thing because present Chris more or less forgot about what past Chris did. There's just so much going on. So, ah, but yeah, no, thank you guys for so much for uh giving us your input. That is great. And if there's any additional input, please let us know. Are you guys cool with us splitting the smaller asteroids and the big asteroids into scene 2 and 3? Because essentially, when we first started, our scene 1 and 2 was kind of like the intro into the space. We have our mothership. That's kind of like scene 1, and then scene 2 is like we're flying around the mothership trying to defend the asteroids or something like that. But I think maybe this can make it just a little bit more consolidated. That it's a little bit more separated. Like scene 1, it's a mothership. Scene 2, it's these little asteroids. Scene 3 is this uh bigger asteroid planet that we're on. And then 4, we go inside the asteroid. And then scene 5, we're really, really inside the asteroid, I guess. Yeah. So very cool. Very cool. That's about it, man. I wish I had more to show you, but uh, again, every time I give updates, every time I do this, it just never feels like it's enough. Hopefully, now that I have Michael's blessing to work on scene 5, I can actually revise scene 5 a little bit, maybe add a few more details, as well as, this scene right here. I'm gonna connect these asteroids with more pipes, the hanging pipes, and
Hmm.
that's about it. And I was having a discussion with Michael earlier, and I already said this already earlier, that I want to make sure I have all the assets made, and then after it's made, then I will make it nice and textured and butt maps and metal maps and, yeah, emission maps and displacement maps and all those other stuff. I will add all that other um like sprinkles on top a little bit later. Because right now we just got to get the meat of it all into the game, and once that's in there, I think then we are good to go. Michael, do you have anything to add?
Um, just thanks, man. Thanks for putting all this together. Like, yeah, and I definitely know the sentiment of like feeling like you did a lot of work and don't have a lot to show for it. I think that's just the nature of like making stuff like this, is that you really have to put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears just to move the needle a
Hmm.
tiny little bit.
Oh yeah.
And you just got to keep doing that week after week after week, and that needle will like slowly start turning around the face of the clock. Uh, but but what you have is great. Like it's really like all the stuff that you did with taking those like industrial props that you had kind of made last week, and were
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm kind of just trying to make a variety of things that are modular, and maybe we can put them together in different ways. Like, and then the way you've combined them here, like it's so cool. It's really exciting to start seeing like, oh my gosh, the mining colony is coming to life. I can see it now. And it's going to be so fun flying through there and doing different. And I can envision like us, if we can get, if we have enough time to
Uh-huh.
program in like cool little events where like maybe with this thing with the crane, like maybe we can actually animate the crane arm going down into the pit or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe it's like got some kind of other mechanism that's near it. And if you shoot the mechanism, then it drops into the crater and does something. Or like maybe there's like drones flying out of that crater. There's just like a whole swarm of them in there, and so
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
shoot the crane drops its hook into there, like seals the hole up, and then that stops the drone swarm or something. I don't know.
Sure, sure, sure. That's cool.
but but like the different, sort of like sets that you've created, really cool. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun programming in different like game moments for
Yeah.
that. So yeah, so that's really cool. And kudos to again on fixing the scene 3
Mm.
scale problem, because that was a real sticky wicket. That
Oof.
felt pretty
Yeah.
pretty defeating for a minute there, but
It
seems like we got it under control.
it really was, and I think it was a combination of you bringing it up, just giving that little spark of like, hey, maybe we could save it if we are able to, make it work. It doesn't have to be that huge. So just try to figure it out. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll take another look at it tomorrow. And then I did, and thank God it works.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
so
could keep
cool.
it, cause this is cool. I like this. I like having, going through the little valleys, the canyons. It
Oh,
looks.
wow, and look at that. You can see the other
Oh yeah,
asteroids
yeah,
back
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't just like this. I love this. I think this is so cool. The only part of this that I'm still not 100% sure we'll be able to do, and if we can't, I think there might be ways to cheat it or to like get most of it, and that is going like completely inverted, because the
Mm.
Cinemachine rail system,
Oh,
I've
I
been
see.
playing with it some more, and it really doesn't like going upside down. Even though
Oh,
I can make it do that with like a simple little
sure.
loop,
Uh-huh.
I tried to do one where I like took the original planetoid that you had given us, like the big asteroid,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
original huge
The
one, and I
big,
scaled it
yeah.
way down.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And then all I was trying to do, instead of like completely recreating this rail system, I was just like, I'm just gonna do a single loop all the way around the planet. So like you got the planet here, and then you just do a loop all the way around it. And the way I built that was I started the rail, and then I went out into like 2D isometric. That way I could
Uh,
just get it perfectly
uh-huh,
into a
uh-huh.
loop. And then and it looked like it was fine. And then when I put the ship on it and hit play,
Uh,
when the ship got down to like this sort of like halfway point,
uh-huh,
it
uh-huh.
inverted itself and flew around and then inverted itself again, even though I didn't program it to do that. So I think there's something in the Cinemachine rail code where it is trying really hard not to turn upside down, because it thinks
Okay.
that you wouldn't want to do that.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
if I can figure out like what's going on there and how to like have it not do that, then we should be okay. But
Right.
otherwise, yeah, we may have to like do some clever things with like maybe when the player gets to a certain point, we just rotate the
Yeah.
planet
Yeah.
and then keep the rail where it is. The old like one of the tricks in Indiana Jones, right? The Indiana Jones ride, where like when you get to that point where the boulder's coming after you and the
Oh, sure.
car's
Mhm.
actually sitting stationary, but it
Mhm.
feels like
Mhm.
you're going backwards and the boulder's coming
Right.
at you.
Right.
Um, so we may have to do a trick like that, or there are different things that we can try. But point being, that's one unsolved mystery
Right.
that is remaining.
And that's I mean, it's good to have that, but it's not absolutely necessary. I mean, it's cool to have it, but if we can't figure it out, it's not like it's gonna break our game or anything. We could just,
Sure.
like you said, try something else. Or we could try to fake it, but if that doesn't work, then uh, we don't 100% have to use it. We could just do something else, right? There's a whole
Yeah,
bunch of other ways we could reveal stuff to make
totally.
it look dynamic. Yeah. Um, 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 Cyborg says, I still think looking into how to split the stuff into chunks and render bit by bit, it might help with performance a lot. Yeah, yep.
Yes. Good point, and that's something I've been looking into on my end, especially because I think that's really in my court is going to be trying to figure out how to tell the Unity engine which things we need and when we need them and when we don't need them. So I've been looking into like optimization stuff, and apparently Unity's got this like whole suite of optimization tools that you can like run diagnostics that will show you while the game is running.
Cool.
When you get to this part of the game, whoosh, you get a big spike in CPU usage. So then you go like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" That's like
Ah,
causing it.
oh,
It's
nice.
pretty complicated stuff, and I'm very much a noob, um, but yeah, so like that stuff's on my radar, and yeah,
Great.
they're like unloading and loading in stuff, like unloading stuff that you don't need right now, and waiting to load in stuff that you do
Right.
need until you need it.
Yeah,
It's yeah, I'm actively looking into ways
nice.
to do that, and yeah, with this particular asteroid, that might be the case where we might want, and actually that might be something that I could use your help with, Chris, when and
Uh,
if we get to it, is to
yeah.
like break it up into like slice it
Oh,
into
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
chunks, kind of like you would chop
Sure.
up an orange or something into orange
Sure, sure,
slices.
sure.
That way we can take those pieces and have like maybe 8 different slices of
Mhm, mhm,
prefabs for
mhm, mhm.
the asteroid, and then
Yeah,
I'll just know like, okay, when the player is flying through this section, we only need the section that they're on right now and the next one and maybe the next one, because you can see past it, but the one that's behind them,
right.
yeah, we don't need that anymore, so let's unload
Right.
that. And then
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, excellent point, Cyborg. That is definitely something that we're very cognizant of and will
Yes.
be a big part of the optimization process.
Yeah. And you kind of showed that to us last week on Wednesday.
Mm.
Remember how you showed us how a lot of the bad guys, the bots, they were
Mm-hmm.
like in the back just like roaming around, just spinning around and doing their shit
Yep.
while we don't even see them yet. But
Right.
you're gonna do kind of like a gateway system. Like once the player passes through this gateway, then it'll trigger them to come out. So that saves a lot of
Exactly.
resources. So yeah, Michael is doing his best to optimize everything and make sure that it makes sense for things to happen. I mean, things don't happen when they don't need to, and things should happen when they actually have to happen. So yes, definitely, Cyborg. Captain Blue says, have you thought of making versions of the assets that are damaged? Oh, sorry. Uh, yes.
Oh, right.
By the way, Captain, I was actually on Captain Blue stream a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago. He was actually showing me the decal usage
Oh,
that he
huh?
yeah, he showed it to me. I believe he showed it to me in Unreal, but I think the process is the same as Blender. It's
Mm-hmm.
essentially like projecting kind of like a PNG onto the surface
Mm,
of the
mm-hmm.
of a geometry, so that
Sure.
I don't have to make yet another geometry
Right.
for like a damaged version of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say for example, like this wall needs like 69 on there, right? And then so I don't have to go back in and change the thing. All we need to have is a 69 PNG, give it to you, and then
Yeah.
you could just project it onto that surface, right? So yeah, Captain Blue was kind enough to show it to me there. Anyways, sorry, let me read that question to you again. Have you thought of making versions of assets that are damaged? Yes, yes, and also the way that you told us to. Right now, the robots aren't uh, looking like a serious threat since the player arrived at the attack, but nothing is damaged. Yes,
Mm.
yeah. We'll definitely give it a little bit more thoughts. I again, the most important thing is to get all the stuff done. Um, damaged versions, yeah, we could totally have damaged versions. Like we definitely want to show a distinction between the T pose bots as well as the missile bots as well as the laser bots. We'll try to make them a little bit distinct, whether it's using color, definitely shape. Shape is one thing. They are a little bit distinct due to their shapes, but yeah, we could actually push that more with color as well. Yeah, great work. Thank you, Captain Blue Blue. He also says you can make some sort of loop event and put it on a ship camera. So the tracking is not looping. The camera is on the track. Would that work? I showed it live and can do it again. Yeah, he was showing the decal thing. But what? Huh. You could make some sort of loop event and put it on a ship or camera, uh, so the track is not looping. Oh, is he talking about the looping issue? It goes up and down.
Oh, maybe.
The situation with the cinema
Some sort
machine.
of. Well, he says loop event, which loop that kind of loop in coding vocabulary and programming vocabulary is very different than a theme
Oh,
park loop.
okay. Sorry, I'm probably misunderstood.
Uh, yeah, I'm trying to understand here. So you could make some sort of loop event and put it on the ship camera. Oh, actually, he might be talking about a theme park loop. So like
Okay.
a moment where put it on the ship camera so the track is not looping, but the camera is. Okay, yeah, I understand what you said. Yes, so a sneak preview for next time on my update. I've done a lot more work with our
Ooh.
in-game camera system, which is basically it's that where you've got the track system is just like a roller coaster rail, and then we've got a cart, which is like the roller coaster train that goes along the rail, and then inside that I've created this like really complicated rig and gimbal system that allows the plane and the various cameras that are attached to the ship to move independent of what the rail's doing, or to
Mm,
basically like sit inside the cart, and while the cart's moving, it's moving them with it, but they can do things inside the cart, that's like basically unaffected by what the cart's
mm,
doing, but
mhm,
still
mhm,
being moved along with it, so they stay on the rail. So there could be a way to do a little loop-de-loop thing with the ship. The problem is though that we really need the rail to be able to curve around the planet without inverting.
mm,
Uh,
mhm.
that's really tricky. Getting the
Yeah.
ship to do like a little barrel roll or a little loop to loop like that, I think we actually could eventually do it. That's not I'm not prioritizing that right. I know we all like desperately want to see barrel rolls in the game, but um, that's something I think is much more possible than I don't know solving this overall rail system, because it really doesn't like going. It doesn't like to be in the position where it would need to be on the underside of the planet and doing all the same things that it does on the top side, where it can like turn and navigate and go up and down and roll. Like once it gets to a certain inversion
Mm,
angle, it's just like, how do I get back right side up? And so suddenly
right.
it's just automatically freaking out and putting in all these rolls, and it becomes really unmanageable. Even when I tried to like split the rail into like, okay, I'm just going to do two separate rails, and then like when we get to the end of one, we'll transition to the other one, and then even that, it's like, I really don't like being upside down, buddy. Like, don't make me do that.
Sure, sure, sure,
So,
sure. Okay, cool.
but
Nice.
But yeah, thank you for the suggestions though, Captain Blue Blue, and because your insights are always really good and help us like go, get the gears turning, and then we end up coming up with some kind of solution. So keep them coming.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Blue. And he also says what I meant is that the cinema track won't loop. Can you put a script that makes the camera loop as if on a theme park loop?
Uh,
And he also says, ah, yes, now I realize that loop have different meanings. Yeah, yeah, because
yeah.
you have a system loop, right, and also a real
Hmm.
loop-de-loop, and yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to well, I can't wait to see what Michael has in store for us, and also I can't wait for you guys to see what Michael has in store for us because we talked about some ideas, but then so he's gone and done them. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm very curious. We'll have to wait 3 days to actually see what he's doing, so it'll be good. It'll be good. It'll also give me time to work on scene uh this scene as well as scene 5 as well. So yeah, that's good.
And I'll have one, I think, completely unexpected surprise to share with you guys.
Ah, that's
Something that
so
I
cool.
we have not really we may have talked about it, but I'm pretty sure
Wait,
we haven't.
wait, wait. I think I know what it is.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Do you
not
want
gonna
to?
spoil it. I'm not gonna
Okay.
spoil it though. I think I know what it is.
All right. Well,
Oh
we'll
shit,
see.
did you really do it?
I don't know. It
Oh
depends on
shit,
what
I
you're
don't know
talking. I
what
don't
it.
know what you're talking
Oh
about.
man. I hope it's what I think it is. Anyways, okay. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah.
Though
Yeah.
I will say it's a thing that happened accidentally, and like to really make it into the game, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. But it's a thing that's like, oh wow, look, we could totally do that. We could totally put that in the game if we did a little bit more work.
Oh
Um,
god.
but it's a feature that's like not going to be part of the MVP. But still, I think it'll be really fun for people to see. So look forward to that on
Okay.
Wednesday.
All right. All right. Damn it. All right. Okay. Um. Kevin Blue says, "Yeah, I'm hyped to see it too." In a Tom's Cruise voice. Show me the money. Well, I don't know how he does it. How does he do it? The show me the money? I don't know. I never heard that before.
It's from the movie with Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire, where he's
Ah
the
ah.
sports manager for Cuba Gooding Jr.,
Uh
who's like
uh. uh.
a pro football player, and then I think Cuba's on the phone with him, and he's like, show me the money, Jerry," or something like that, and then they're yelling at each other, "Show me the money," and that
Nice.
yeah became the whole thing.
Nice.
Oh
Cyborg says, "Oh, go ahead."
well, this is this actually might make good tavern trivia, but random aside about that, if anybody has seen the movie Rat Race, uh, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's actually really funny, really awesome. But it's one of those like big ensemble movies with a whole bunch of actors, and it's this like big crazy caper. The basic premise of it is that a bunch of these people go to Las Vegas, and they get brought into this like contest where the contest is everybody has to race to this location in order to get like $1 million or something. So they're all like competing with each other to get there, right? Well, John Lovitz is in it, and so is Cuba Gooding Jr. And there's an outtakes where the two of them are talking, and they're all like real skeptical about this contest. They're like, I don't know, man. Like, is this real? Like, is this a scam? And Cuba Gooding is talking to John Lovitz, and John Lovitz goes, "Yeah," or Cuba says something like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do we know that the money's even there?" And John
Uh,
Lovitz goes, "Did he show you the money?" And then
uh,
Cuba Gooding Jr. like starts to say something, and then he's like, "Wait a minute," and then yeah, like he
uh,
breaks character, starts laughing. It's like really good. It was
that's
really
right.
good.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway,
That's
sorry.
awesome. That's cool. No, it's good. Cyborg says now I'm expecting an unexpected surprise. Koliba says no spoilers. And Captain Blue says, did Michael put an echo management system into the game? Pog. Just joking. Captain
Wait,
Blue
what's
says,
it? What, wait, what's echo management? Eco management?
oh,
I don't know what that is.
I said echo management. I read that wrong. Yeah, well, I don't know what eco management. I thought it was like a echo management.
Yeah, I don't know. What?
Yeah,
Tell us what that is.
let us know what that is. Captain Booba says, "I
I'll try
love
to put
Rat
it in the
Race.
game. Yeah.
A couple of friends and me are drafting a design document on that premise. Ooh, that's
Cool.
cool. Nice." Cyborg says, "I had Rat Race on DVD, played it so much that the disc scratched. Holy cow,
Yeah.
nice." Blueba
I love
says,
that movie.
Rat Race was really big in Sweden.
Oh,
Cyber
cool.
says Rat Rally. Cap
Nice.
says economic management, like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, for example. Oh,
Oh,
got it,
got
got it,
it.
got it.
That kind of eco. Got it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, we'll have to wait and see. No spoilers.
No
My
spoilers. No spoilers.
lips are sealed.
I don't even know. Ah,
Chris doesn't even know what it
I
is.
don't even know what the hell, man. Oh, by the way, Cyborg, I know you went ahead and ordered your drink. I gotta go all the way up to make sure I know
Oh,
what
yeah. Sorry.
you
I was
said.
supposed it was an
Oh,
iced
no, no, no.
coffee.
Iced coffee. So Cyborg ordered iced coffee and um Coley. Coley, in the beginning of the stream, I always offer people some digital drinks because this is a creative tavern. I will give you guys a drink of your choice, so that in the next time we meet on Wednesday, if you come back, you will be served a drink that you want. So please let me know right now in the chat what is your favorite drink. It could be alcoholic, it could be non-alcoholic, your choice. Your choice. Da, 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 da. Okay, and then Blue Blue says, "Well, I'm in suspense, but I would turn up on Wednesday either way." Yeah, and thank you
Thanks,
so much,
Blue
Cat
Blue.
Blue Blue. Really appreciate it. You're always here. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Um, yeah. So, do you guys have any questions for us? Since I've more or less kind of wrapped up on what I need to do and what I did for this week, and also what I need to do uh for my homework is go ahead and create that the curved pipes to connect each of the asteroids together. Um, Maybe come up with more architecture elements because I'm still not kind of satisfied with that. I'll in my free time I'll create more stuff. But also, I will go ahead and revisit Scene 5 and really tightening up the space because right now it's gigantic. So
Yep.
I'm gonna do my best to make it small and and
Hmm.
and and doable, like being able to handle in Unity. Oh, also, I need to go ahead and give you the small size planet of Scene 3, so that you can actually import play around with it in Unity. So I don't want to forget to do that.
And if you can, whenever you're ready to send the scene to asteroids as well, because what I can do is I can put those in Unity and start playing with things, and then start figuring out like, oh, right here, Chris, can you make some kind of crane apparatus thing? Or
Yeah,
for this part, we're definitely going to need the asteroid to be bigger. So here's kind of like what that's going to look like. Then I can start feeding back to you, you know, how the gameplay is going to be influencing the
sure.
assets we're making.
Sure, sure, definitely, definitely. And Coley Butt says, "Can I have boba?" Of course, you can have boba.
Ooh,
So,
good
so,
choice.
so Wednesday when you come back, you will have some boba milk tea, boba milk tea, because boba also means something else in Chinese.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it a
yeah.
bad word?
No, 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 no. It just means boobies. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Boba?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Um,
Cool.
but anyways, yeah. Next time you come back, I will give you some boba milk tea. Yeah. Captain Booba says, "How are you planning to create textures? Do you use programs like Substance Painter?" Nope, I don't use Substance Painter, for example. Or are you going to hand paint them from scratch? Also, have you looked into PBR? Yes. PBR, physics-based rendering texturing methods. I will do both. I'm going to do a combination of PBR as well as hand paint the textures because what I'm doing so far right now in scene 4 is it's all hand painted by me. Obviously, I use some photos for reference, and I actually took some parts of the photos that I like and put it into the drawing and kind of like painted over it. So more or less, it's gonna have a painted kind of feel. To be truthfully honest, I still it's nothing's in stone right now. I'm just gonna have to figure it all out. See if it looks good, then we're gonna do it. If it doesn't look good, I'm gonna find another way. Uh, the goal is to make sure it looks good. Good question though. Really good question. Yeah, I don't I know Substance Painter is really good, but I also know that it's expensive. You have to like it's a subscription based basically Substance Painter, Michael, is a texture painting program. It is freaking amazing. I've seen it done before. I've never used it, but the only downside is you have to pay for it. And I am a cheap mofo. I do not want to pay for things that I do not need to. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like at this stage, I'm of the mindset that we'll keep doing, making what we can with what we have, and then if this becomes successful enough that it can actually fund the purchase of additional software, hardware, whatever, then okay, cool. Then we'll
Mhm.
keep going down that pathway. But yeah, because that's like it's tough to warrant the investment in some of those things if you're
Yeah.
like, you know, if it's clearly obvious, like, oh man, we need this for the next project because
Right.
and the last project can pay for it, so then it's a
Right.
no-brainer. But we're not there
Yeah.
yet. But
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully soon.
Yeah. Hopefully soon. And Captain Blue says Substance Painter is very expensive. Yeah. It is a lifetime one-time fee if you buy it through
That's
Steam.
great.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I thought it was a monthly thing,
Subscription
which
base.
I hate
Yeah, I know. I
subscriptions.
don't like subscriptions either.
Yeah. Captain Boo Boo says I have it. Oh, nice. Good job, man.
Wow, cool.
Cyborg says the moth in the wallet don't pay rent. Amen to that, dude. Captain Blue says if you need something from Substance Painter, like base, metallic texture, etc. Oh yeah, I, for me, I will try to find ways of doing things where it's familiar to me. And if I have to create like metal textures, I would probably try to make it myself. I know for a fact that Substance Painter is it'll make my life 100% easier, but at this point in my life right now, I want to be as fast as possible, work as quick as possible. I'm not really in the learning phase right now, even though I should be, but I just don't feel I have the time to learn another program. um, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to, with the skills that I have, create the look and texture and the feel to make things look good. If that's okay with Michael, obviously. Uh, Captain Blue says, "Yeah, just hit me up if you need a base texture or for reference or something, and I can send it from there." Thank you so much, Captain Blue.
Yeah,
Really
thanks,
appreciate
man.
that. Yeah, um, yeah, totally appreciate that, and I may take you up on the offer if I can't find the legit, you know, texture like a space gunmetal texture, that I will definitely reach out to you, man. Yeah, really, really appreciate it. See, we have such awesome people. Yeah, this is what the Creative Tavern's all about.
Hell
Helping
yeah,
one another
community
out.
coming together to help create awesome stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions for Michael and I? It doesn't have to be video game based. It could be about anything, really. Um,
Yeah, we're
well,
happy to talk about if you need a creative pep talk, if you are looking for information about the creative process, how that works, how our creative process works, or the theme park industry, um, or even just random stuff like we lived in Japan. What was that like? We're happy to talk about any of that sort of thing, or even just like, hey, what are you guys watching? Like, what's your streaming show right now, or what movies have you
mm-hmm.
seen recently? Um, so
I,
yeah,
I
we're happy
I've
to.
been I've been watching a lot of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard YouTube videos.
Wait, isn't that over? Isn't the trial over, or
Oh
is
God,
the
yeah,
drama still happening?
it's over, but a whole bunch of drama is still happening now. The
What?
Australian court is, doing an investigation on Amber because she brought the two corgis over without the right paperwork, as well as not
Oh
giving them
no.
the correct quarantine, and then so they might extradite her or some shit like that. Elaine Bredehoff, her lawyer, is like, saying a whole bunch of shit that's not supposed to be said. What did she say? She's asking for like a retrial. Um, it's just like, why? Why?
Whoa.
They're like making up. They're bending over backwards to not lose, basically. And sometimes it's easier to just take the loss and be quiet
Yeah.
and go away. But the Amber team is just, they're fighting tooth and nail against this, and I'm just like, dude, give it up, man. Just let it go. You said you want to be a mother. Just go be a mother. Don't do all this publicity stunts and yeah,
I don't know.
I watched the whole trial. I I can say that I totally believe Johnny Depp, and I do not believe Amber. I believe Amber, she's like a total liar. That's again, this is my feeling so far, because everything that I've heard on the audio tapes, all the photos, like there's a photo. Sorry, I'm just going in there. There's a photo of her, in one shot, and then she says the second photo is another shot taking after she turned on the light or some shit like that. But the truth of the matter is those two images were the same image, but one of the image, the contrast and the saturation was turned up. And then so they actually did a comparison to put one photo on top of the other. The pixels actually lined up with
Perfect.
perfectly, because even if you walked out to pick up something or flip the light on and then come back to the same
It would be
exact
nearly
position,
impossible.
it's I would say it's like almost impossible,
Yeah.
because the wisp, I mean, she has long hair, right? Like the wisp of the hair can move, it's like all this stuff can happen. So with her saying, "Oh yeah, it's two different photos," I'm like, "Oh, come on, man." I'm not
Yeah.
a
You're
pro.
either lying or you're confused.
Yeah, yeah, and the whole thing of, "Oh yeah, I used pledged and donated synonymously." I'm like, "What the fuck? No, that's not the same thing. That's not the same." And so I'm just like, "Holy cow, this thing is crazy." So I've been watching. Sorry, what was the question? The question was, what were we streaming?
Yeah.
And I just been watching a lot of the YouTube channels, how to cut hair. I've been cutting my mom's hair, because
Cool.
we will want to save money, and plus we watched this like YouTube tutorial on how to cut women's hair. Like it's called a shaggy haircut, well, a wolf cut. Basically you take the hair and then put it all the way up, and then you cut it and then it falls down, and there's layers and everything. So apparently now I can cut my mom's hair now. So
Wow. Cool,
I I
man. That's
I not
awesome.
only cut my own hair, but I also cut my mom's hair. So yeah,
Rock on.
yeah. What have you been watching, Michael?
Um, aside from a absolute crap ton of Unity tutorial stuff, the fun things that I've been watching a lot of this show on Paramount Plus called Evil. Um, I don't know if has anybody in the chat heard of this show? Um, the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like X-Files, but for like the religious occult. So like in X-Files, you've got this, Mulder, he's like the believer, right? He believes there's a conspiracy going on and the
Yeah.
government's trying to like hide the aliens and stuff. And Scully's his partner, and she's the scientific skeptic, right? She's like, oh, I only believe things where there's evidence provided. And they go on these adventures together where they're investigating some phenomenon and then trying to figure out, like, is it aliens? Is it some kind of weird creature? Like, what's going on here? And Mulder's always, quick to like jump to, yeah, it's aliens, all right. And Scully's always like, I actually know it's just, the weather balloon or something. This show is kind of like that, where you've got the one of the characters, his name's David. He's trying to become like a priest, um, but his job for the church is that he investigates like paranormal situations, and he's trying to like help them with like identifying people who need exorcisms, or like where demons are haunting people. And he brings onto his team a psychologist to try to help bring in that perspective. And the psychologist's name is Kristen, to bring in that like kind of skeptical perspectives. That way they can go and evaluate when somebody says like is begging the church for like, hey, we need help, we need an exorcism. They send this team in to like, is it really an exorcism, or are these people like trying to scam us? And
Mm-hmm.
what's really cool is, and it's I think it's a really good show. It has
Mm.
a couple of things in there that I'm not super fond of. Like a couple of like social justice things that are in the way of like greetings, fellow kids. I don't know if you know where that meme comes from, where it's like, uh, what's his name? There's the actor who was in the Big Lebowski, Donnie. They're always telling him to shut up. Um, Anyway, he's like he looks pretty old, and there's this movie where he says like, "Oh yeah, I was on this police undercover task force where I was one of the younger looking police officers, so I infiltrated high schools." And there's a
Mm,
shot of him wearing like a cap backwards and holding like a skateboard, and he looks like he's
mm.
60, and he's like with the high school kids, and he's like, "Hey, fellow kids," and it's it's just like super obvious he's not part of the
Sure.
crowd. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of things like that in there where they're like, it kind of feels to me like there was some kind of executive or something somewhere who's like, oh, you need to put this in, put this into the show because that'll, you know, tick
Sure.
this box for
Right.
marketing. I'm like, just tell the stories that you guys are already telling because they're really
Right.
awesome. But anyway, it's a really cool show. It's a lot of fun because they do the same sort of thing that the X-Files does or did for a lot of their run, and that is when the characters go into these situations and you're like, is this person possessed by a demon? There's like just enough of both sides that
Mm.
by the time you get to the end of the episode, you're not really sure. Like, well, there's a
Cool.
couple things that were unexplained, and then there were a bunch of things that seemed like, oh yeah, this is definitely demonic possession. Oh, wait a
Yeah.
minute, but they actually know it was, X, Y, and Z. But there was A, B, and C that was unexplained. So, who
Yeah.
knows? And so, I don't know. That part's really fun. If you're a big fan of the X Files, I think you'll really like that show too. And it's just really well made. The characters are super cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm watching that. I'm only like about one season in.
that's cool. And Captain Blue says, is it Steve Buscemi?
Yes,
And
it is
Cully
Steve
says, yeah,
Buscemi.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Cully,
Good
Cully
job,
Butt
Captain
says,
Blue Blue.
yeah, that's cool. Sorry, let me look at the thing really quick. Cully Butt says, yeah, the Aussies are trying to get Amber. Yeah, yeah. And Captain Blue says, Amber Heard is also asking for a retrial for a supposed member of the jury wasn't the one who was called. Apparently, there's like a they say like instead of the 55-year-old, there was a 70-year-old who went that lived in the same household or something. I don't I apologize. I'm probably not getting the story right. But yeah, they're saying like, oh, there was like the wrong person that went or something like that. Um, I think they're really just bending backwards. It's yeah. Coley Butt says take the L, man. Honestly, you can
Yeah,
lie
right.
about your ex, but abuse is no joke. Yeah,
For sure.
I feel so bad for Johnny Depp. To be honest, like I didn't really have any exposure because I don't follow gossip or celebrity news. I If it has no effect on my life, I don't really care. But this thing is actually not a phenomenon. It's a it is an event that we need to kind of see that, abuse can go both ways. It's not just men abusing women, but women can also abuse men. And I don't know why. Have you ever seen this movie called Disclosure with Debbie Moore and Michael Douglas?
I haven't seen the movie, but I've read the book.
Yeah, I don't know why people haven't, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I know that movie isn't about abuse. It was more about sexual harassment or something like that, right?
Correct.
Sexual
Yeah.
advancement.
It's
And no one
Yep,
believed Michael Douglas, but Demi Moore
exactly.
was the one that was being the bad person, right?
Right.
So, because when this is going on in my mind, I was like, man, this kind of reminds me of Disclosure. Even though I was really young when I watched it, I'm like young, like I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I still remember that poster of Michael Douglas and Demi Moore's face like running next to each other, and I remember that it was Demi Moore that was the bad guy in that movie. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Fun fact, that movie is based on the book. The book came out first, and the book was written by Michael Crichton, of all people, the guy who
Hmm.
wrote Jurassic Park.
Wow, nice. I did not
Yeah,
know that. Wow,
yeah.
that's
And
cool.
he specifically wrote that book because he saw the way, in the 90s, the way society was kind of changing in that way. It
Uh
was
huh.
like, hey, wait a
Uh huh.
minute, there's kind of a real danger here
Yeah.
for people not believing men because like men can be the victims in these situations too. But
Yeah.
well, I mean, generally we're like so quick to be like, oh yeah, man,
Right.
he's probably the accuser. Like
Yeah.
men can't get sexually assaulted because
Right.
they're gonna want it. Like, of
Right.
course.
Right. In Disclosure, they can't get sexually advanced. They can't get sexually harassed. by women. Of course you can. It
Yeah.
goes both ways. You guys want equality? Here it is. That women can also be bad guys too as well.
Yeah.
Uh Coley Butt says, I cut my hair like that. Oh, she's talking about the wolf cut. Oh, by the way,
Cool. Okay,
Coley,
I gotta look this up then. What is this thing?
yeah, it's called a wolf cut. It's like, so if you're a female and have long hair, all you got to do is just tie your hair up at the center point
Oh,
of
cool.
your hair, and then from here you just cut it straight up like this, and you by doing that you naturally get layers because obviously
Yeah,
the
because the
distance
head
between
is rounded, right?
exactly because this distance to here it's shorter than the distance from the super
Mm,
lower back of your hair.
totally.
So
Yep.
the back of your hair travels more. So once you cut it here, you let go, everything just falls into place. It's very
Yeah,
cool. I
it
never,
looks really cool.
it looks very, very cool. And that's cool. Coley, you have that hairstyle too. That's awesome. Captain Boo Boo says X-Files is like the supernatural, I feel. And that's where he
Yeah.
says Steve Buscemi. Bu- 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 uh, does uh, does it ever play on the demonic Oh, Coley
Yeah,
Butt says, does it ever play on the demonic possession being mental health?
yes, it does. Very much so. In fact, that's like one of the big kind of conflicts between the two main characters is like the one who's like a firm believer in demonic possession is like, nah, this is definitely there's a demon in this person, and then the
Mm.
psychologist is like, actually, this looks like a schizophrenic disorder. The people have, and she's like pulling on history of like different ways that people can be affected by it. So yeah, it's real interesting, and to see like because it leaves you, the viewer, like, man, I don't know.
Mm. See that's cool. Like leaving us kind of in wonderment, guessing, and
Yeah,
not feeding us. Like they're trusting the viewers to make their own judgments. I think those are like the best kind of shows.
it's it's more fun than if they picked a side and we're just like, okay, yeah, here's what it is.
Right. And Coley Butt says, I don't even know that they were together. To be honest, I don't watch Famous People. Yeah, I had no idea Amber Heard was married to Johnny Depp. I don't. If it doesn't pertain to me, I don't really give a crap. Blah. Cyborg says, "Can I swap my drink to the Pan
Pan
Galactic
Galactic
Gargle
Gargle
Blaster?
Blaster.
Just remembered it, and it's the galaxy's best. Okay,
What
I
is
will.
that?
I have no idea what it is, but I
Is
will
that like
copy
a
paste.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference or something?
All right, I'm gonna do my best to find it.
Okay.
That's your first choice, but if I can't find it, I'm gonna still stick with iced coffee. But I'm gonna do my best to find it,
A
Cyborg.
hell of a name for a drink. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Oops. Hold on. I don't need to say that.
While you're doing that, Captain Blue Blue says Michael Crichton turns up again,
Yeah.
and Congo, and the book The 13th Warrior was based on, which
Oh.
was Eaters of the Dead, I think, is 13th Warrior. It's
Yeah.
always interesting to me when they take when they make a movie and they're like, we can't use the title of the book anymore. We got to come up with something else because movie audiences just
Mm.
aren't going to get it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's always interesting. Uh, Coley Butt says, "What's sad is there's no support for men either." Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. We can go on and on about how messed up society is right now. What a disaster and
Yeah.
dumpster fire it is. But yeah, that's definitely one of them. And it's tough too, and like different relationship structures. Like one of the things that I think is really challenging for men in situations with like marriage is like divorce courts. It's really hard for fathers to get like custody of their kids. The courts almost always rule in favor
Mothers.
of yeah the mom, and so there
Yeah.
are a lot of dads out there who are like, I can't even see my kids because
Yeah.
the divorce went really ugly and the wife was real nasty and the
Mm.
court sided with her and now I can't see my kids. Like, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's brutal. Uh, Coley Butt says men have it rough. Cyborg says we need to give men love so they know they're loved. Yeah, and man, like Johnny is like getting lots of love and support from everybody. Everyone just loved him, and I think he deserves it. He went through like six years. I want to say 6 years or seven. or 5. I don't know. He went through a
Wow,
lot
it
of
would be
years
a
of
long
hell.
time.
Yeah, it was not good for him. I felt so bad. Especially like the part where you hear the audio. She's like, "Yeah, tell the world, Johnny.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
them
I
that
heard that one.
me, a female, like abused you or some shit like that." And I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like, listen to her.
Yeah,
I
because she
mean,
even says something like, "See if they believe you," right?
yeah,
Something nasty
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, so it's in the audio tapes. How do you not believe that she's a liar and an abuser and takes advantage of situations and shit? I don't like her. I don't like her not one bit. I think it was the exorcism of Emily Rose that showed the court trial that happened. A girl died during an exorcism, and the church had to prove she was possessed. Oh,
Whoa, that
damn.
sounds intense.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cyborg says it's a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah,
There
to
you
the
go.
drinks, to the drink that he requested. So that's cool. That's cool. Awesome,
Awesome.
man. Yeah, I love this little talk and chat that we had. Even though it sucks that we have to talk about Amber Heard. I'd rather talk about something else, but it's related to what I've been watching. So yeah. Hopefully I get to have more time to watch something else. Um, and we could talk about other things besides stupid Amber Heard. I don't like her. Not one bit. Ah. Um, but yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I will go ahead and hold
Do
on.
we have anything in the gallery to look at today?
Yeah, yeah, we do. We do. We have something from our own Captain Blue Blue actually. Let me go scene 4, and let me go back here again. And let me turn off this and turn on this. Yeah, this is. Oh wait, Michael, you don't see it yet. Sorry. Here you
That's
go.
okay.
Boop. Or you could
Sweet.
take a look at the.
Yeah, I can watch it on the stream. That's
Yeah,
fine.
watch it on the stream because I don't want to. It might be a little bit small for you. But I don't want to change my ratio because once I change my ratio, it's all gonna be crapped up. Okay,
No
so
problem.
this we have from our own Captain Blue Blue. This is he's actually working on a 3D mesh for his
Cool.
OC character. He is currently creating a 3D model of his avatar, and yeah, it's he's doing the undershirt as well as the pants and the boots,
Oh,
and
awesome.
it's going really well. I was actually on his stream, and he was using Blender, and I was kind of giving him little tips here and there, and it was fun watching him learn. And I'm like, yeah, another Blender user. I know he's probably saying, "Oh God, I hate Blender. I hate it." Well, I just want to give you encouragement to say that stick with it. It's
Yeah, it's looking
free.
great.
It's free, and it looks really, really good. I guess the next question I should ask you is, did you do this in Blender? Like, cause I know you worked in Blender for a little bit, but did you kind of redo this in Maya? Let me know. But whatever it is, it looks really good right now. So good job, man. Good job. And also, he made this for one of our mutual VTuber friends. This is Mochi, and he created a avatar for her. It's also done in 16-bit, which is Blue Blue's specialty, and it looks super, super, super cute.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I have nothing but respect for him because I myself cannot do 16-bit artwork at all. It's just way too hard.
It is really hard.
Way too hard. Way too hard. So good job, Captain Blue Blue. Thank you so much for sharing this. Yeah.
What software do you use to make your 16-bit or your pixel art, Captain Blue Blue?
I should be able to answer this, but I forgot the answer. He told me once, and I'm sure if he's there, he will give you the answer yet again. But
And also, am I mistaken? Is it like there a difference between pixel art and 8-bit art?
I
I
think
think
they're the
pixel
same
art's an
thing.
umbrella category, right? Because like 8-bit art is different than 16-bit art.
Oh, sure, sure. Actually, Captain Blue Blue can answer this. But I want to say 8-bit and 16-bit goes under the umbrella of pixel art because pixels are
Okay,
little
yeah,
blocks. Yeah,
makes sense.
exactly. Uh, oh yes. Captain Blue Blue says I use Asprite. Am I pronouncing that right?
Um,
Asprite. It's a
got it. Okay.
specialized pixel art.
I don't know.
Uh,
Aseprite?
Asprite.
Aseprite?
I could do this in 2,
Aseprite.
5, and 3 hours. Pixel art is the umbrella. Yep, yep. Colibus says only
Wow,
experience I
cool.
have with pixel art is embroidery.
Ooh,
Oh, actually,
neat.
that in itself is a form of pixel art. It's a, it's a real traditional pixel
Hmm.
art. It's
Yeah,
not a,
it's
yeah,
like
it's real life
the
pixel
analog
art.
version of pixel art.
There you go. Analog is the right word. Yeah, yeah, totally. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing this, Blue Blue. Good job
Yeah,
again, man. I always love seeing your
great
work.
work.
Yeah, he's a 3D artist and a pixel artist, which is great, man. And also Coley, if you ever have any artwork, feel free to actually, hold on. I don't know if you have our Discord. Let me go ahead and type in social. Uh, Feel free to follow that link, Coley, and join our Discord. Same with you, Cyborg. Feel free to go in there and then join our Discord. And then, if you guys have any cool artwork at all, go ahead and post it. And then at the end of our streams, we always take a look at your guys' amazing artwork and if I can have if I could give you guys any feedback, I will. Same thing with Michael. But more often than not, we just revel in your guys' talent. So thank you so much again for being here and checking all this out and being part of the awesome community. And lastly, King on what's his name's behalf? Oh God, my brain. Uh, I forgot his name. Hold on, let me see if he actually wrote it in here. Oh my God, I forgot his name.
I don't
Ah,
remember. I know who, yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Maybe scroll up.
is he in here? I know he's part of the group.
Herb? ERB?
Herb. Yeah, 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 Herb. Herb is I want to say Herb is the artist. I want to say Herb is the artist, but I'm not I know this is his style, but wow, he did a lot of work if that's him. Holy cow. And thank
Yeah,
you, King, for sharing Herb's work. He's always like a representative of all artists, so that's always really, really cool. Thank you so much, Herb and King, for sharing your amazing, super, super adorable, cute little sketches. It's quite amazing. He's able to do this in like 10 minutes, and then boom, that's one good illustration. Usually, an illustration takes me forever to do.
yeah, these are
It's,
so cool.
it's so cute. Look at this. Aha! It's Doctor Doom. It's Kirby Doom or MF Doom? MF Doom. MF Curve. Oh, okay. I get it. I get it. MF Doom is a rapper, and he also kind of wears a mask.
Uh,
He sadly passed away a few years ago.
hmm.
But it's like a play on words of MF Doom as well as Doctor Doom as well as Kirby. So he basically put all three together, which is pretty insane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is actually MF Doom's mask. There you go.
Awesome.
Very, very talented. Very talented. Oh, Coley, you actually posted something.
Ooh,
Whoa.
sweet.
Why do I know this? This feels like Miyazaki's anime.
Oh
Spirited
yeah.
Away?
Mm-hmm.
Is this
Yep.
Spirited Away?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Oh,
This
that's
looks great.
beautiful.
It looks amazing, Coley.
What what medium is it? Is this digital or is this traditional? This
I'm
kind
gonna
of looks like
s-
it's got some, or go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's digital, and Coley's gonna probably prove me wrong. Um, I I want to say I
Like a
want to say it's
hybrid.
digital.
Or either, or if it's digital, you've got a really nice pencil brush for the hair in
Yeah.
there. It is
Yeah.
digital. Wow.
It is? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is
Yeah,
digital.
this is
Nice.
great. I love
Yeah.
the what are they called? The water caustics, the like
Hmm.
the
The light on
wiry
top
lights,
of,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great. Good job on that. That shit's not easy to do, so awesome. Awesome.
And
Keep it
good
up, Coley.
choice of source material too. That's
Yeah.
one of the most amazing movies ever made.
Yeah. And she says she did it in Procreate. Nice. Nice.
Oh, that's why the pencils look so good because Procreate has the absolute best pencil brush
Oh,
of
really?
any like app that I've ever used.
Nice, nice.
They're so good.
Yeah, I need to get back into Procreate, but the only reason why I don't use Procreate is that I'm so used to, doing the commands like brush, enlarge brush, eraser, but just do with the command with my left hand and then draw. Just only use this hand to draw. But with Procreate, you gotta pick the brush, you gotta increase the size, you gotta do this,
Mhm.
do that, and I'm just not used to it. Anything that slows down my process, I'm like really really hesitant. I'm an old man. I'm a dog that cannot learn new tricks. Ugh. Um, but with that said, Coley, but please continue to paint and continue to share with us your amazing paintings. Same with you, Captain Blue Blue, and also I invite you, Cyborg, as well, to go
Yeah.
ahead and post in here in our Discord. If you guys have any other artwork in the future, next time we'll be looking at it is Wednesday. So you guys have 3 days to come up with some awesome work, and then we'll take a look at it. Sweet. Okay. We're coming up on 9 o'clock. I think we're gonna, unless you guys have any other questions for Michael and I. Is that right? Michael and I? Myself and Michael?
No,
Oh God, this is getting so confusing.
because you would need to take me out of the sentence and then see if it still makes sense. So if you were to say like, um, if you have any more questions for Chris and I, if I take Chris out and say, if you have any more questions for I, like, oh, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
If you have any more questions for Chris and me, and then I take Chris out of the sentence, if you have any more questions for me, okay, yeah, that sounds right. So yeah,
Okay.
it's that you gotta do a quick mock example of the sentence without the other people and
Right.
see it still sounds right with just you, and if
All right.
not, then switch
Got it.
the
Got it.
name for yourself.
So, but if I'm saying it, you always comes first, right? Michael always comes first before me. I don't say me and Michael, I have to say Michael and me, right? Isn't that like
Th-
a rule?
That might be a if that's a rule, it's not as strong of a rule.
Oh,
That
okay.
might be more
All
of a
right.
style choice. But
Got it.
I
Got it.
think generally you're supposed to mention the other people first.
Oh, got it.
Um, but it's definitely a rule that there's sometimes where me is correct and there's sometimes where I is
Well,
correct
I
and
is
not
correct.
the other one.
Yeah. I always get confused, so I always have to like ah. All right. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions for Michael and me, well, that sounds so weird. Yeah. If you guys have any more,
Nailed
I'm
it
getting
though.
so confused. But yes, let us know. But yeah, we're very happy, very very happy to have you here. Uh, and they say me and Michael's solid as they come. English, uh, me
Yeah,
like
that's the
candy.
right emoji
Me
for
and
that.
Michael is a song by MGMT. Oh, I don't know that song. Uh, is this the talk like a caveman rule?
This is the Icon has cheeseburger rule.
All right, cool. But yes, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We really, really appreciate it. And as always, you can find, well, my chat box isn't
Great
working.
work today, by the way, Chris. What you had to show was awesome. I
Thank
liked
you,
it.
thank you, and thank you so much again, Michael, for giving that boost of energy. Asking the right questions to help us get onto the right track, to bring back the planet itself again. Because I like that planet. The problem was it
Me
was too
too.
big, so we got it back. Yeah, we solved the problem. Not yet.
Rescued from the jaws of defeat.
N-
Well,
but
in the
not yet.
process of being rescued.
Exactly, exactly. So we are almost ready to say we're good. I just have to send it to you tonight, and then you could play with it tomorrow and let me know if it is actually good or not.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
cool. So with that said, guys, you can find me on twitch.tv at Lead Design Studio. Currently, I have my Kickstarter going on, if you guys are interested in tarot cards, tarot cards. I've designed 78 tarot cards. That is currently on Kickstarter right now. These took me half of year to design, but they are all done. And if you guys want to support me in buying a pack, feel free to follow the channel or follow the link, and you will see it linked to the Kickstarter page. So yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, guys. And again, you can find me on my channel. I'm gonna try my best, Michael, to stream and also chat to stream at least once a day, doing one sketch, like one girly sketch or
Cool.
something, just to keep it consistent. If not once a day, once every 2 days, because I think I really like, sketching, painting girls. It's a lot of fun, and I've been enjoying that a lot this past week, right? um yeah, so Michael, where can the good people find you, good sir?
Um, yeah, so speaking of like streaming, I definitely want to get my own stream going at some point soon. But obviously the Rail Shooter project is my number one priority, and once we get that hopefully wrapped up sometime in September, then I'll have a little bit more time to kind of launch my own stream stuff. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, though, if you like what I'm doing, you want to support me, I do have a book out, Blockbuster Blueprint, which is all about kind of blockbuster stories and how they work. And I have a second edition of that I'm going to release probably next year at this point. I don't think I'm going to get around to that this year, or maybe later this year. So if you want to wait, you can definitely wait for the new edition to come out. But otherwise, the best place to find me is right here on the Creative Tavern every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time,
Yeah.
where I'll be hanging out with Chris and you guys, making a game and talking about creative stuff. So we'd love to have you.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, I mean, if you guys really want to learn about writing, I mean, you can wait for the second edition, but to be honest, the first edition, what is on screen right now, which is on Amazon, it's still really good. The principle is still there. I read it, I learned a lot from it. Um, I'm a person that if I don't do it, I won't get good at it. I read it, I understood it, but I'm not a writer, so I definitely need to practice writing. But when I read his book, it opened my eyes as to how, characters are developed, as to how structures of movies, how they are formed, and it makes it really clear. Michael does a great job of taking example from a whole bunch of movies and explaining as to why this works, that works, and XYZ. So he breaks it down really, really well. I'm sorry, I didn't pitch it all that well, Michael. But
That was
trust me,
no, but that
it's
was
it's
great. Thanks
really
for
it's
the
really
kind
really good.
words.
It's really, really good. You guys could definitely check it out. If you guys ever decide to create some amazing stories, right? Okay, yeah. Um, anything else? Anything else, Michael? Do you want to add?
Uh, oh, well, no. What the thing I was gonna say was like, hey, we're gonna do tavern trivia again on Wednesday. So if you guys want to pick a topic, um, let me know. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna do movies again because I feel like movies was pretty successful last time.
Mm-mm-mm.
Uh, but yeah, so food for thought, and maybe for next time, come with your category suggestions. And next time we will, after we do tavern trivia, I'll solicit feedback for categories for the next time, so then we can kind of mix it up a little bit each week. But that's it. Look forward to seeing
Yeah,
you guys there.
it'll be good. God, I hope I get more than one correct. God, that was horrible. It was awful.
They were
But yes,
tough.
yeah, they were tough. They were tough. All right, you guys. Have a great rest of the weekend. Please stay cool, stay hydrated, stay safe, and we will see you Wednesday. Okay? All right. Cool. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and end stream, or end the.
We're gonna
Wait.
raid.
Yeah, we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid. All right.